Once upon a time, in a far-off forest, there lived a little rabbit named Peter. Peter was a mischievous little rabbit, always playing pranks on the other animals in the forest. One day, Peter had an idea for his biggest prank yet. He would pretend that there was a giant, terrifying monster in the forest, and see how the other animals would react. So, Peter ran around the forest, shrieking at the top of his lungs, "Monster! Monster! There's a monster in the forest!" The other animals were terrified, and they all ran to hide in their burrows, caves, and dens. Peter couldn't stop laughing at how easily he had scared them. But he knew he had to come clean eventually, so he went around the forest, telling all the animals that it had just been a prank. The next day, Peter had another idea. He would pretend that there was a monster in the forest again, but this time, he would make it even more convincing. So, he ran around the forest, this time carrying a big stick, pretending that it was the monster's tail. The other animals were even more terrified than before, and they all ran to hide in their burrows, caves, and dens. Peter couldn't stop laughing at how easily he had scared them again. But, again, he knew he had to come clean eventually, so he went around the forest, telling all the animals that it had just been another prank. This went on for days, and the other animals started to get fed up with Peter's pranks. They knew he was lying, and they didn't believe him anymore. One day, a real monster came to the forest. Peter ran around the forest, shrieking, "Monster! Monster! There's a monster in the forest!" But this time, the other animals didn't believe him. They thought he was just playing another prank, and they didn't run to hide. The monster was a giant, terrifying creature, unlike anything the animals in the forest had ever seen before. It had scaly green skin, razor-sharp teeth, and glowing red eyes. It stood on two legs and had long, clawed arms that it used to grab animals and devour them whole. The animals were paralyzed with fear as they watched the monster roam the forest, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. At first, they were too scared to take action. But as the monster continued to ravage the forest, they realized they had to do something. They came together to form a plan to defeat the monster. The bears, being the strongest animals in the forest, would distract the monster while the foxes and raccoons used their agility to sneak up and attack the monster's weak spots. The birds would fly overhead, dropping rocks and sticks on the monster's head. The plan was put into action, and it was a success. The bears bravely faced the monster, distracting it while the foxes and raccoons attacked its weak spots. The birds dropped sticks and rocks on its head, causing the monster to become disoriented. Finally, the deer used their antlers to pierce through the monster's heart, killing it. The forest was safe once again, and the animals celebrated their victory. They had worked together to overcome a common enemy, and they realized the importance of unity and trust in times of danger. They also realized the importance of not lying and playing pranks, because when it comes to real danger, nobody would believe you. As for Peter, he felt ashamed of his actions and apologized to all the animals. He promised to never lie or play pranks again and to always be honest.